My name is Pearson Grant, and this is my Domains of Healthcare presentation. So what are the domains of healthcare? There are going to be 5 of those. The first one is going to be therapeutic services, which are skills involved in changing a person's health over time. The second one is going to be diagnostic services, which are skills involved in creating a picture of a patient's health. The third one is going to be health informatics, which is skills involved in documentation of patient care. The fourth one is going to be support services, which are skills required to create a therapeutic environment for patients. And the fifth and final one is going to be biotechnology research and development, which are skills involved in researching anything that has to do with health and developing products to help people have better health care. My fields of interest are going to be athletic training, neuroscience research, and neuropsychology. The first one is going to be athletic training. Athletic training is going to fall into the therapeutic services because they are trainers who help aid in athletes and also normal people's health and longevity throughout their lives over time. Athletic trainers do this by helping treat injuries and also prevent injuries by having people do mobility, exercises, etc. to help just lengthen their health and longevity. In this picture, you can clearly see multiple athletic trainers working on multiple athletes. They're giving them treatment for injuries and also prevention. You can see a few of them are taping up ankles for these soccer players before they go practice so they can help prevent rolling ankles and other injuries to deal with their feet that could easily happen during practice or a game. The pros of being an athletic trainer are I would be able to get to stay into the running world since I'm a runner myself, so I'd get to stay engaged with athletes like that. It's the least amount of schooling out of my 3 options, and I get to help athletes directly. And also, it's a dynamic, active work environment, so I'm always up and doing things, always get to be active. I'm not sitting stagnant at a desk. Some cons, it's not always the highest paying job. There's going to be long, irregular hours, and lots of travel can be very tiresome and can take a toll on the body. The education requirements for an athletic trainer are often a bachelor's, a master's degree, and through the state, a certification program that'll just certify you as an athletic trainer. The salary is going to be on average about $61,000, but can also range up to $101,000. The next career I'm going to be looking at is neuroscience research. Neuroscience research would fall into the biotechnology research and development domain because you are studying the brain to help develop treatments and devices to aid care. This is because I'd be researching the brain and seeing how it develops and how pretty much why the brain does what it does, and help develop devices to help aid people who have disabilities or problems with their brain. And over the last decade, you can see cognitive neuroscience has really boomed, and you really study the emotional, motor, memory, vision, and higher mental process areas of the brain. In this picture, you can clearly see she's analyzing a brain scan to see the structure and the size of the different proportions of the brain. This can help determine if the brain is developed properly or if there are any malformations of the brain. The pros of being a neuroscience research is there is a very major societal impact. So you're helping a lot of people and you're going to be developing new things that can help revolutionize healthcare. There are many career branches, so this can lead you to multiple different facets of neuroscience. There's lots of different jobs for it. And this healthcare field is very collaborative and intellectually stimulating. You're always around very smart people and you're always learning something. The cons, it's a very long education pathway, and the progress can be very slow and uncertain. It's also a very highly competitive field. The education requirements are going to be a bachelor's degree, a doctorate degree, and a postdoctoral work of some sort, whether that's a residency or medical hours, so something of the sort after your doctorate degree. The salary is going to be about $45,000 to $90,000, but it can also get upward to $120,000 to $160,000 just depending on your experience and how long you've been in the field. The third and final career I'm going to be talking about is neuropsychology. Neuropsychology is also going to fall under the therapeutic domain of healthcare because it's going to pertain more to studying and looking at the patterns of people who have disabilities. By studying the patterns, you can help find solutions and give them better quality of life. In this picture, you can clearly see this doctor is explaining the brain to this girl, and it can be used to help people understand their brain and why it does what it does. This pertains especially to people with disabilities, as it can help determine what disabilities cause throughout the brain and how we can help mitigate the effects. The pros of this job are going to be a very meaningful impact. You'll be directly helping people with disabilities and having a big impact on that community. There's very good job security. There's always a demand for this job, so you will never really not have an opportunity for a job. It's a very high paying job. You can earn a lot of money with this, and there's a lot of opportunity for specialization. So you can go into geriatric neuropsychology, pediatric neuropsychology, academia with this. So there's a lot of different options with this job. The cons, it's a very long educational pathway. There's a heavy workload and long hours, and there's very high risk for burnout. The education requirements are going to be a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a doctoral degree, and then a medical residency, which is going to be about 4 to 7 years after that. So a very long schooling to eventually become the neuropsychologist. Now, on the upside, the salary can be very good. The average is going to be about $113,000, but once you become more of a senior neuropsychologist or even open your own practice, you can get a very high salary ranging from $140,000 to upwards of $373,000. These are my resources. Thank you for listening, and that was my presentation on domains of healthcare.